All right, up next, Oregon State head coach Wayne Tinkle and sophomore forward Trace Tinkle. We'll go ahead and have Coach make a few opening remarks about the season ahead.
Looking forward to this upcoming season. A lot of challenges ahead for our group. We've got 12 of our 13 players are first or second year guys. Not too many of them had much experience from last season, but we love the group that we have, the way they're going about their business, how they carry themselves on and off the court. And we know with that, we can build moving forward.
Questions for a coach or the student athlete? Please raise your hand. We'll get a handheld microphone to you.
All right, thanks.
At one in the middle, the third row on the right-hand side.
Kevin Dan at Pac-12.com for both Trace and Coach. 1 year into it, what's it been like with the father-son combination? You know, playing for your dad Trace and coaching your son Wayne. And has it been different than expected, or kind of how's it been after a year?
It's a very special opportunity, of course. But you know, going to my first year, didn't know what to expect, or at least I thought I did. And it was kind of a change of whirlwind, but it's been fun. You know, we've had our learning curves for sure. But that's just getting used to, you know, I think the transition between when I can call him dad and when I call him coach was the toughest thing for me, just to know who's who I'm talking to. But once that got figured out, it made things way easier, and then we've just been growing from there. But obviously, we still have our days where some are better than others. But when we look back and reflect on it, you know, it's unique, and it's awesome to have him by my side the whole way.
Well, all the days are good in my book, but no, he hit it right on the head there. I think he was used to dad maybe helping coach criticize, applaud in the past, kind of one-on-one. And I think it was a real adjustment for him to get any correction along those lines in front of his peers was different. And he was thinking dad was coaching his team, and he had to make that adjustment that, no, it's Coach Tinkle. So we got through it early in the season, and, you know, I think he went on to have a remarkable season for a freshman, but then also giving those circumstances and, you know, expectation as the coach's son. But I've got to continue to remind myself that this could only be a 4-year deal, memories that last a lifetime. So I've got to put a positive spin on all of it, but also remember that there's 12 or 13 other pairs of eyes, you know, watching how we conduct ourselves. And by no means is this just a father-son experience. We've got our whole program, our university, and everybody behind us. But a sidebar of it is that, you know, we're able to enjoy some pretty special moments together.
You go same row, in the third row in the middle.
Ben Parker from GoldenBearReport.com. Can you talk about just what areas of your game you've worked on the most during the summer to get ready for your sophomore year, and just reflecting on your freshman season, just what areas of your game do you feel you need the most growth, and what are you working on to take your game to that next level?
Yeah, so I was out because of my injury, but I was still trying to do whatever I could. And what I really think I worked on was just tighten up my shot, just to be a little more consistent. And also my ball handling too. I mean, because I couldn't really move much, so just chair dribbling, things like that. But I think the biggest part of my game that will probably be improved is just the mental aspect of, you know, sitting out and just having to observe and learn the game through the coach's eyes, and watching my teammates excel and see what they're improving on. Try to just implement into my game when I'm out there again. And then just, yeah, I think sitting out and just, you know, kind of finding an appreciation much deeper than I had before for the game, and just, you know, try to play with more passion was probably the bit, you know, what I've worked on the most.
Front row right here.
Morning, Wayne.
Good morning.
College men's teams took 35% of their shots from three-point range last season. Why do you think there's that increase? And also, could it be anything to do with, you know, big men being more skilled and able to, you know, do some different things out there?
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I think there's a combination there. There's a lot of focus on, you know, 3 versus 2, and coaches have all these different formulas on X amount of three-point shots. If you shoot 30%, equate to this and that's well above my head, obviously. But I think probably the bigger part of it is the emphasis of taking the physicality out of the game in and around the basket. And you see it at all levels. You look at the NBA, and there's nobody throwing the ball into the post very often anyway. So I think it's just a little bit of the cycle that we're in. But also I think it's, there's a lot of focus on trying to make the game more exciting, improve scoring, that sort of thing. We feel pretty lucky because I think we shot a pretty good percentage as a team in regards to the rest of the conference, and we feel like that will be a strength of ours. But I'm looking forward to having some true post players this season, some of the young guys that we've developed, because we feel that inside-out balance is really crucial. So it's something we're going to continue to build off of, but then also try to take advantage of our guys that can shoot it beyond the arc as well.
We've got far left here in the fourth row.
Yeah, you talked about a little bit about Trace and the adjustments he made. What about your other freshmen has maybe changed and benefited from all that experience they were able to get last year? I'm thinking of Steven Thompson and Drew.
Yeah, we're excited to see that. Big Drew and Stevie have made great strides in the offseason. Drew's weighing over 250, has a great body, and he hasn't lost any of his athleticism, which we knew was going to be the case, but he wasn't so sure. Stevie Thompson, we know he's a great scorer. He's always been a scorer. We talked about the next phase of his game as being a playmaker so that he becomes that much tougher to defend. If you're known as really a one-trick guy, coaches are good enough to scheme. And now he's added that ability to make plays off the dribble for his teammates, which I think is going to allow him to be one of the more prolific scorers in our conference as we move ahead. And his maturity of the game. Trace talked about his mental development. Stevie's done that as well. Drew also. I mean, if the wind blew in through a window during a practice, it would upset him, and he's really learned how to channel that. And we expect big things out of those two in combination with Trace and then some of the other guys that are newcomers. We know it's going to be a challenge, but we again love the group we have. We believe in them. It's just going to be a matter of getting them experience and seeing where that takes us.
Second row here on the right.
Wayne, earlier today we heard Stanford talk about creating a culture with the regime change there. It seems like in a very short period of time you've been able to do that successfully in Corvallis. Where are you exactly, do you feel, in that journey of changing the culture? From an outsider's standpoint, it would be easy to say you've already done it. What do you think?
Well, I think we've made great improvements in a short time. But now all those guys are gone, so we have to do it again, But we do have a good group of sophomores, I think, that were in those early stages, and they're going to be able to now carry the baton and then hopefully at some point hand the torch off to the next group. And that's how you create consistency, is you get a group of guys at the bottom level to learn things the right way, to go about their business the right way. These guys have bought into it, and then when they're seniors, they hand it off to the classes below. So we're hoping to continue to build off of that. These guys really stand for the right thing, play the right way. And so we're excited. And now that we've been able to erase the, vacancy from the NCAA tournament, this feels like year one as far as moving our program forward, because we've got a good number of our guys there. It's young and unproven guys by and large, but our kind of guys. And the real key was, and I don't want to take anything away, the way that group we inherited really bought in. It was incredible. They have these new crazy coaches coming in, singing from a different hymnal book than what they'd heard, and they bought into it. And it was really neat, the leadership they showed to this young group a year ago, and we saw what that led to. And now these guys are off and running and hopefully going to carry that forward as well.
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much for your time.
All the best. Go Beavs.